We tend to embrace these broken, flawed characters, and rarely is there one in our work that's just solid as Shank.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't make a lot of mistakes. The mistakes she's made are in her past, and so she's able to give Vanellope legitimately good advice.
She had to come across both as a very tough character, she's the boss of that game, but also as a character we feel that soft side. So from a design element, you need to have both.
I think that when the voice casting came in, that's like when the design is starting to solidify.
I can do the oof. Let's try with the oof. Let's try different. Oof. Let's go drive. Yeah! I went a bit, crazy, but I was like giving it something.
She just sort of has this easygoing warmness about her, like, oh, I could sit down and talk to Gal, like, we could be friends. And we try to put some of that into how Shank sort of carries herself.
Yo, Department of Noise, get out of my car.
That relaxed, effortless posture that she has.
Cool, let's make a video.
Show off.
Nicely done.
To see all of the Disney princesses on the film and think, I'm going to get to animate and work on a film that has the characters that initially inspired me to be an animator, and it has eBay. I feel like I was just manipulating the directors and the story artists just to put everything that I like in one movie.
Anna and Elsa and Moana are the most current Disney princesses, and they have a detail to them. They have a richness to their design, and we wanted all of the other princesses to kind of come up and match that richness. So princesses like Snow White, when you see the 2D version, it's just a simple yellow skirt or a simple blue bodice, but we knew that they needed to match the detail level of Moana and Elsa, so it was fun inventing all of that extra detail.
Who made your gown? I've never seen anything quite like it.
Oh, this old thing?
Oh, I'd so love to have one of my own.
As would I.
Me too.
Best outfit ever.
Now, who are we supposed to see about getting paid again?
The head algorithm. Her name is Yes.
Yes was amazing in the fact that she also went through a couple of iterations.
I think originally they were picturing a bigger than life, bold and brass and huge ego, but definitely the personality became more like a producer or an agent.
He won't be doing any bee puns.
They're beneath you.
It's one of those things where you're trying to get the attitude and like the feeling of the character, and then it doesn't really come together until they finally pick a voice actor.
This man is on fire. Literal and figurative fire.
As soon as they said, well, it's going to be Taraji, then we could take all of that personality that we had in those other designs and her likeness and sort of put them together.
I love Yes.
When she genuinely jumps on the table and is like, this is what the internet is made for. It's sort of in jest, and yet her character truly does believe that, no, this
This is the best.
This is the best of these cat videos and these viral videos. It is also what the internet is made for.
Yeah.
Well,
Double Dan.
Oh man, he's had so many iterations over the years.
Who are you?
Double Dan began as an idea that wouldn't it be funny if Ralph met this Double Dan guy who turns out to be this horrible virus if Ralph doesn't realize that he's kind of palling around with this guy.
He was a replicating virus,
Yeah.
so if you touched him or gave him a hug or something like that, he would replicate whatever he touched.
Double Dan used to ride a rascal scooter around.
So the clones used to be born from...
Little Dan.
He did change quite a bit.
from very early on.
Yeah, there was a handful of designs for him.
Phil was like, what about this character? He's like a spammer. Being perfectly honest, I drew him just to gross Phil out. And I did these drawings and brought them back in and they go, perfect, done.
For Double Dan, I was trying to figure out how he moved, how did Alfred Molina's voice kind of affect his design.
You. What are you doing here? Get out!
I think he's definitely one of my favorite character, and then the most weirdest character I've seen.
What is the internet? What does it actually look like?
Whiffy? Or wifey?
Our first vision of the internet was, what if everything is floating on clouds, like the real internet? We thought that's an awesome metaphor.
Dynamite metaphor.
We nailed the movie on day one, and then we shared that metaphor with some of our tech guys here.
People who aren't dummies.
Yeah. And they were like, well, it's the metaphor that they use to sell the internet, but that's not really how the internet works.
It was only through research that we started to realize that, no, it's actually very tactile. It's a very physical thing.
We're crazy for research.
We love our
nuts.
research.
We're nuts for research.
You see that highway out there? That's the 134. We took that
to
the 5, and then it's about
right
8 or 9 miles. It's a real ugly stretch of interstate, but it was a beautiful drive that day, and man, did we have fun.
It's a high-rise called One Wilshire.
And it's the place where all connections for the internet, the entire West Coast, happen.
We saw the box where Siri lives. You know, it's like the guy's like, this is Siri. And kind of paid our respects. And even though it's not like a trip to like Norway that they took on Frozen or the South Pacific, like the guys that Moana took, it was still nevertheless very inspiring.
Oh, yeah.
This is how everything's connected in the physical world. It's just tubes and wires.